Okay. Now I'm recording now. So I wish you can start. I hope no one has been locked behind. Yes, 110. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now we are unlocked. Now we can host over 1,000 people. Someone started an audio recording. I don't know why. You guys, man. Okay, let's just continue. Staki kujam. Okay, we can start now. I think that's a good number. 113, that's a good number. That is a very nice number. Okay, let's start now. 115, at least now I can see. No one can be locked out of this meeting. So I hope you guys can see my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen here. Okay. Nice one. So you guys mko sawa sasa. Can we start now? Good. Very nice. Very nice. Now, I'm starting the analysis on how we can trade a consolidating market, how we can trade a down trade, up trade. Then we'll also look at the liquidity zones. We said our class today will be a bit lengthy, so prepare your bundles. Yes, prepare your tokens so that we can have a nice session. So I'm your host DDFX, and this class is proudly sponsored by Zealand Markets. Zealand Market is a new broker based in Dubai and Mauritius. Zealand's Market. I'll talk more about the Zealand Market. So this class is proudly sponsored by Zealand's Market, our official sponsor. So this is a global webinar. That's why I had to stop the meeting so that it can accommodate more people. We have so many participants from India. We have so many participants from Mauritius and so many numbers from Nairobi, Kenya. Big up for the guys in Nairobi. I don't know. I don't think we have guys in Tanzania. Now, anyway, let's start this amazing session. Now, I said my name is DDFX. Please follow me on all my social media handles. My name is DDFX. My name is DDFX. Follow me on YouTube at DDFX, on YouTube, Instagram at DDFX, on Facebook at Didi Kimeu, and on TikTok at DDFX. Now, I think we can get started. Now, today we are doing analysis, and the pair that I'll be interested in, I'll be more interested in gold. That is what I'll be interested in. So please allow me, if you trade a different pair, please allow me to trade gold today. Please allow me to trade gold today because that's the only pair that I trade. That's the only pair that I teach. So we are open for a better market. So I hope you guys can see my screen. before now we start. I was buying time for guys to join in, and I think everyone is in now for the meeting. So let's start this amazing session. Now, before you do your analysis, the rule number one, we said for you to be a profitable trader, you have to identify yourself with one pair. So when you identify yourself with one pair, it will be easy for you to tackle any other pair. So rule number one in Forex, identify yourself with one pair. So after you identify yourself with one pair, it will be easy for you to tackle any pair. So that in case of anything, you are able to see and you are able to track how the pair is behaving from the start to the end. I always tell my student, I always make a joke and say, you should be in a position to say you should be in a position to say where the market is anytime. If someone wakes you up from your sleep, you should be able to tell, I left gold trading at 33.84. I'm expecting gold to hit 3400. Or I'm expecting gold to retrace until 3350 because of this and this and this. That is the best way you can be a profitable trader. You need to identify yourself with one pair, identify yourself with one working strategy, then identify yourself with one mentor who is reachable, who you are approachable, and someone who is able to listen to you so that you can walk this journey together. Otherwise, if you cannot identify yourself with one mentor, you will end up losing before you become profitable. You'll have lost a lot and you'll take more time to study the market, unlike when you have someone who can guide you. But that's why I'm here, guys. Now, let's dive into the analysis. Now, we said I identify myself as a scalper in Forex, and I always scalp gold, that is XAU USD. Then I also do swing trading. I swing trade in crypto. So I'm running a trade on Spell coin, XRP, and the Bitcoin. So if you ask me, those are that's the kind of a trader I am. I'm a scalper. I do scalp gold, making use of the 5 minutes and the 1 minute, maximum 15 and 30 minutes. Then I also swing trade. I'm holding a crypto trade on the futures. I trade futures, to be specific, not spot trading. For the guys who know, I do trade futures. So I've been holding a trade from January, and I'm still waiting for the results in December. I'm still tracking. Bitcoin has been, it created a new high at around 120,000. Now Bitcoin retraced all the way to around 112. So we're expecting Bitcoin to pump more. Yeah, so that's why I'm holding that trade up to date. So with time, you need to identify yourself with one pair, or two or more pairs that you are comfortable with. Then you also identify yourself with one strategy that will work for you. So the strategy that I use to trade gold is the same strategy that I use to trade futures in Binance and other platforms. The same analysis I use to trade Bitcoin on my account, my Forex trading account. That's the same strategy that I use to analyze gold. And that is the same strategy that I'll use if I want to analyze another pair like GPP, JPY, or USD, JPY. So when I learned how to analyze gold, I stuck on that pair, I stuck on that strategy, and that's the same strategy that I use. That is the same approach I use all the time, and I can't complain so far. For the guys who know me, and who have been walking the journey with me, because I have students who I started to teach from last year, and I know many have been making some nice profits out of the market. I've even seen some guys who have been able to transform their lives through this Forex market. For the guys who are saying Forex is a scam, please let's continue with the same energy. to say Forex is a scam. So let's now dive into the analysis. I know everyone is very anxious to know how to analyze this market. Now, this is how I analyze my market. Before we start our analysis, I said the rule is one. The rule is one. The first rule before you start your analysis, always start your analysis using higher time frame. So higher time frame include yearly candle, monthly, weekly, daily, and the 4 hours. And when using the higher time frame, the market will never lie to you. You'll always get a clear picture of the market and where the market is going and where the market came from. Because I always say the Forex market repeats its own pattern. What happened previously will still happen today, tomorrow, and the days to come. So the same move we might experience today is the same move we might expect tomorrow and the days to come. That is the beauty thing about our Forex market. It repeats its own pattern every now and then. So when doing your analysis, always remember to start your analysis using the yearly candle. Start looking at the yearly candle. How has gold been behaving from the previous years? What is the history of gold? How is the history of gold till today? So you can see from the year 2002, gold has been bullish until the year 2012 when gold decided to sell a bit or to retrace a bit until the year 2015. Then from 2016, gold has been bullish all the way to today, 2025. That's the history of gold. So generally, you can see gold is on an uptrend. So for this case, we'll be focusing more on the buys and like the what? The sells. Because you can see according to the yearly candle, the market is doing what? The market is bullish. So we have to move with the trade of the market, where the market is going. That is the same direction we should take as traders. But if you go against the trend, you know obvious what happens. You get into losses. So rule number one, always remember to start your analysis using the higher time frames. And the higher time frames will never lie. So the yearly candle, you can see, I know many people have been trading and they've never looked at the yearly candle. It doesn't matter if you are swing trading or you are scalping. At the end of the day, you need to know the exact direction where that market is going. That's why we are starting that analysis using that's why we start the analysis using our daily our yearly candle. Then from the yearly candle, you can look at the monthly candle and look at what is happening in the monthly candle. You can see this monthly candle. The market was consolidating here. The market has been consolidating here. But you can see this month's candle, which is 2 days away to close. You can see we have 2 days remaining for this candle to close. You can see that market has been bullish. Though the previous 3 months, the market has been consolidating within that region. Sorry. So that's according to the monthly candle. Now let's look at the weekly candle. What is happening in the weekly candle? Man, you guys, mnasemaje I increase the sound na my volume is okay. You guys are distracting me. Now I'll not listen to anyone. So according to the weekly candle, you can see this market is still consolidating here. You can see the market is consolidating from here up to here. And we said while marking the consolidating zones, we only mark where the candle closed with a body. Remember, the rule is we are focusing on the body, we are not focusing on the wicks. We are going to look at the wicks when we'll be talking about support and resistance. When we'll be talking about the liquidity zones. That's the only time we'll be talking about the what? That's the only way when we'll be increasing. That's the only way when we'll be looking at the wicks. So when we are looking at the liquidity zones and the support and resistance, or the supply and demand zones, that's the only way, the only time we'll be looking at the wicks. But for now, we are targeting the body. So if you want to identify a consolidating market, look at the body. And we say that consolidating market does not give a clear what? A clear move. The market will always play within that region. buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And we said the market must either move to a down trade or an up trade. If the market moves on a straight line, if the market is not giving us a clear up trade on a down trade, it means this market is doing what? This market is consolidating. And we said the only way we can trade a consolidating market is to wait for any candle that will do what? Any candle that will close below that zone. That's when we can enter for what? We can enter for sales. Now, else, if this market closes above your zone like this, that's when we can enter for a what? For a buy. I know many people will say the market must come down to retest. I know, blah blah, but we'll still come to that point. So in case this market breaks above this region, the next candle obvious will come to retest, then we can continue buying. But for now, just maintain, we only buy when the candle has already done what? Has only closed. And not just closing, it has to close with a what? With a body, not the wick. If it closes with a body, that's the only way we can do what? We can know we are safe now. We are out of this consolidation which was happening here. So if this candle closes above your zone, we are out of this consolidation. That's when we can enter for what? For a buy. If this candle, this market, we see if we find a candle that will close below my zone, that will be a nice entry for what? For a sell. So how do we apply that? I'll be going to check some of the examples so that I can show you some of the examples where the market is consolidating or where the market is ranging. I talk about that. This guy is calling me, man. Just a minute, you can see. Hello, sir, how are you? Please call me after 5 minutes. I'm doing a class. Okay. So always wait for the candle that you do what? But anytime you see a candle close with a wick like that, this is not confirmation. We are still under our consolidation. The market is still consolidating. But if we see the candle that will close above that zone like that, remember we are focusing on the body. If the body closes above like that, then we'll know that this market is out of that what? Out of that consolidation. Now, the opposite of that. Now, if we see a candle that will close below here, but if you find a wick that will close below that zone like that, it doesn't matter the size of that wick. The market is not yet out of this danger. The market is still within this consolidation. But we'll know we are out of this consolidation when we get a candle that will do what? A candle that will break below that area. That's the only way we can know we are out of consolidation. And that's how we trade a what? And that is how we trade a consolidating market. I hope you guys were okay. That is how we can trade a consolidating market. I hope we are sorted. So wait for the candle that will close. Every time you enter for a trade, guys, let's learn to be patient enough. Let's learn to be patient. Always wait for the candle, depending on the time frame that you are using. If you are using 15 minutes time frame, always wait for that candle to close. If you see a candle pushing down like this, especially for gold is very weakened. You can see a very big candle pushing down like this. Then you say, now this market is no longer now consolidating. So let me enter for a sale faster before I miss that move. Then, because gold is always gold and gold is very volatile, at the end of it, you see gold pushing up during the last minute of that candle to close. And that happens so many times. So when you see a candle pushing down like that, don't say there's a lot of pressure from the sellers. Now the market is out of consolidation. Now let me enter full margin. Let me enter full margin to grab that sell. Man, and that candle has not yet closed. This candle might end up closing even on the buy side. So always wait for this candle to close. That is the only secret. Always wait for this candle to do what? Always wait for this candle to close. And that will be the best time for you to do what? to get a confirmation for a what? For a sale. But until then, sit back and relax. India TikTok and comment like other comedians say Forex is a scam. All Forex traders rely on Sim 2. While we are here learning and burning the midnight oil, trying to analyze the market and know how the market moves. Yet the poor comedians are there making fun, trying to spoil our career. But anyway, Forex that does not know Didi. The Forex market does not know any comedian, does it know any Forex trader? So let them spoil them. They'll make all that noise, and at the end of the day, they'll keep quiet. They'll continue to stay poor and depressed, and they will continue to give us pay bills so that we can changa for them as Forex traders. But we always forgive. So let's focus, guys, and thank you for this opportunity and for this decision to learn that you've made to learn. Now let's now continue. Now, according to our time frame here. So if we were using 55 minutes time frame and you see a consolidation, let me say, for instance, if you see you are using 15 minutes and this candle is consolidating within this region here, if this market is just consolidating here, there is no candle which is breaking above my zone. We said the only confirmation is to wait for the candle that will do what? The candle that will close above there. That's when you can enter for buys. The candle that will break below this area, that's the only time we are going in for what? For sales. So if you're using 15 minutes time frame, always wait for that 15 minutes time frame. Always wait for that candle to do what? Always wait for that candle to close. I know some guys who don't know about the timer. You can use the time on your watch, or on your phone, or in your PC. The time matches the candlestick time. So if this is 15 minutes candle, I'm using 15 minutes time frame. So you can say the 15 minutes candle has just started. So this is 9:33 Kenyan time. Remember, I'm using Kenyan time. So 9:33 p.m. And the candle, the 15 minutes candle has just started, and it's 3 minutes away from 9:30. You can check here. You can confirm here. So you can check, this is the timer. We have a timer here for the guys who don't know. We have a timer here to know when the candle is closing. Look at this area here. So this is the price against time. So this 15 minutes candle is 11 minutes away to close. So if you add 11 minutes, 9:33 plus the 11 minutes, it will be around 9:45. That's when this candle will be closing. So we have a timer here. So look at the timer and identify what time is remaining for that candle to close. Is it enough for me to wait? Should I wait for that 15 minutes? If you are not patient enough, you can use 5 minutes or become a 1 minute man. Use 1 minute if you are not patient enough. But for the guys who are patient, they will always earn more than the guys who are impatient, who are using 1 minute and 5 minutes. But when you are using higher time frame, I said you always get a better move and a more clear move than the person who is using 1 minute or 5 minutes. So I always insist on using higher time frames. So looking at higher time frames, so we are analyzing the market using 15 minutes, and we say the timer, the 15 minutes is 10 minutes away. So wait, if we have identified a consolidating zone. If this is a consolidating region, if this market is consolidating within this region, this market is just playing with our minds. Yeah, the market might pretend to be pushing up, then it pushes down. If you buy here, it sells. If you sell here, it buys. So that's how the market moves during consolidation. So wait for if you have set your time frame to 15 minutes, wait for the candle to close above. So sit back and wait. Sometimes you can wait for a setup for even 12 hours. You can sit and wait for 12 hours until the market gives you a nice confirmation. And that is nice discipline in Forex. So if you are in a hurry, Forex will always ample you. If you're in a rush to earn money, Forex will always ample you. Trust you me. So don't be anxious. Don't be in a hurry. Remember the Forex money. We have a lot of money in the Forex market. So this money you cannot finish the money in the Forex market. For the guys in Nairobi, you can say, pesa Forex ni mingi, huwezi maliza hii pesa. So ambieni hao comedians, Forex hakuna mali tunaenda Forex traders, we are here to stay. So they better join us because they can't beat us. Kesho their comedy will not be relevant to us. Kesho comedy itakuwa irrelevant. Their jokes will be not relevant to us, but Forex will always and will forever remain relevant. Because you guys will always say, the exchange rate ya dola imeenda chini, dollar exchange rate imepanda, sahi dola ina trade at 129. There was a time dola ilikuwa ina trade around 165. So Forex will never go anywhere as long as we have different currencies. So long as we don't have a common currency, Forex is not going anywhere. Forex market is here to stay. So tell them to join us. All else, watoe paybill tuwachangie wanunue Nissan Note. Now let's continue now. Sorry guys, I know I'm very I feel so embarrassed by that, but by what is trading in our country, Kenya here. They're trying to mock our Forex traders just because they know we are earning way more than them. Now, that's according to how we can trade a consolidating market. So a consolidating market is here. So let's identify some consolidating market and see which candles have closed below or above our consolidation. For instance, this is, let's look at, let me look for a nice move where there's a lot of consolidation. So for instance, this market here, you can see this market is consolidating within this region. So this market is consolidating within this region here. So how do we trade that consolidating market within that region? We said the only way is to wait for the candle that will close below or the candle that will close above. And this candle is the only candle which broke below our zone. That's why we got this nice sell here. That's why we got, after this candle which broke below my zone, that's why we can see there was a very nice sell. Then after that nice sell, there was another consolidation again within that region. So which candle broke below my zone? This is the candle which broke that consolidation. That's why you can see there was a nice sell there. And these are so many pips according to 30 minutes time frame. You could have made some nice money through this move. That's about the consolidating market. Now let's look for a buy for an up trade. This is another consolidation. You can see this is another consolidation. So when you identify a consolidating zone, trust yourself and be patient enough to wait for a perfect setup. Look at this consolidation. Look at this consolidation which happened here. If you're patient enough, if you're not patient enough, you can mark that region. So look at that consolidation which happened there. Or you can even mark, for the guys who are lazy, you can mark that region. So the only candle that broke above our zone, this is the only candle that broke above this consolidation. That's why we got that nice buy, that very nice buy there. So the secret is one for a consolidating market. Always wait for the candle that will break above your zone. And that's the only way we can trade that consolidating zone. Wait for the candle that will close above or below your zone. Look at that consolidation there. After that consolidation, we had a very nice breakout. And this is the candle that gave us that breakout. So you can see there was a very nice sell until the market decided to do what? To consolidate within that region again. So that's the only way you can trade a consolidating market. I think I'm clear. I'm clear about the consolidating market. Always wait for a breakout or either on the upper side or on the lower side. I know we have so many strategies in the market. Some people will say, blah, blah, there was change of character after the candle, after that consolidation. There was a break of structure. A break of structure has appeared. So let me wait for a retest or blah, blah, blah. let me wait for a change of character, it will behave this and this. I don't care about what happens. Those are just indicators. I don't use indicators. I analyze what I'm able to see. If I see a consolidation, I'll wait for a breakout. Full stop. I don't care the terms that they use. Maybe I wait for something like a retest or a small retracement, then I continue buying or selling. But to make it simple, just wait for the candle that will break above or below your consolidation, and that will be a perfect time to enter that market. Now, let's now look at how you can trade an up trade or a down trade. All these are consolidations, and we use the same approach. This is purely consolidation. I can see there are some moves, but they are going nowhere. The market is still consolidating within this region. So the only way is to wait. And I know these are so many hours. Many people could have avoided that market or could have given up. This is another consolidation. After this consolidation, you can see there was a very nice sell. So always wait for a breakout. After every consolidation, there will always be a breakout. Look at this consolidation here. This market was consolidating. This was a very bad consolidation. The market, because this is gold all the time, pretended to have broken that zone. Then it came back to the zone again. So this was pure consolidation. So what happened? This candle broke above that consolidation. That's why you can see that very nice buy which happened. So be patient and wait for the market to play out. The market will always give you a nice setup if you are patient enough. But if you are not patient enough, man, you'll always land into troubles all the time. You'll always say Forex is a scam. You'll always keep on blowing your account. So let's practice patience all the time. Now let's look at an up trade or a down trade. How we can trade an up trade or a down trade. Let's look at that right now. How we can trade an up trade or a down trade. Let's look at that right now. I hope you guys are okay now. I hope you guys understand the consolidating market, how to trade that consolidating market. That is the simplest market you can ever trade, a consolidating market. Just sit down and wait for the market to give you a nice setup so that you can enter either for a buy or for a sell. Full stop. Now, let's go now to the analysis, the other bit of analysis. Now, this is the most interesting part. I know it can be a bit controversial, but allow me to share something. Let me see if I'm able to share that tab. Let me see if I'm able to share that tab right now. Just a minute, I share that tab. Before I start my analysis, I want to share something so that we can share my analysis. I'm just opening. Let's be patient, kidogo. I'm opening my MetaTrader 5. Let me hope it will open. So it opens. As it opens, we can just continue. Yeah, it has opened now. Let me share the screen so that you can see what I mean when I am analyzing the market. Another different approach I have when analyzing my market. I know so many people have shared this with so many people, but I can't share this for now. But at the end of it all, I share this with you. I hope you guys can see my screen. This is my MetaTrader 5. Are you able to see my screen? Is my screen visible? Okay. So this is a bot for the guys who love using bots. This is a bot which automatically analyzes my market depending on the time frame that I use. So this bot will show me where the market might decide to reverse, my possible reversal zones, my possible rejection zones. It will also be able to tell me when when there is overbuy, when the market has overbought, or when the market has oversold. Or it can even tell me when the market is consolidating, when the market is ranging. For instance, you can see this market has been ranging within these two lines. Then there was a breakout within this region. So that is what I'm going to teach you on how you can achieve all these. I know this is very some people will come to my inbox requesting for this. It even shows you when to buy, when to sell. But I said I don't use indicators. So I bought this one last year, but when I realized it's working with my strategy, I just dropped it and I no longer use it. But the students that have done live trading with them, I have showed them how to use it. But I just use it for my confirmation, to confirm my entries and to confirm my fears if I'm on the right track. So it automatically detects my zones where the market might decide to reverse. And that is what I'll be teaching you now. So guys, I'll be teaching you like a bot how we can achieve such a move, how we can achieve before it even sends you a message to tell you when to buy, when is the best time to enter the market, when is the best time to leave. It shows you all that. But I don't use bots because I believe in my strategy. For the guys who understand RSI, you can see when the RSI closes here, you can see there was a buy indication there. When the RSI the lines crossed each other here, there was indication forward for a sell, and you can see there was that downfall there. But I don't use all this. I want to show you how you can achieve this nice approach here and trade like a bot and be able to analyze the market on your own and make the right decision. Yeah. So let's now go back to our analysis. This one I can share it. This is a very expensive application, but I can share it. I know I have shared with some of the students in my VIP. So let's continue with our chart. Back to our chart. Let's see how we can achieve that nice move. I displayed that for the doubting Thomases. When I say let's analyze the market, they don't know what I'm saying. I know my strategy and my approach in the market is way different than what you guys have had. So we are on very safe hands. We are on extremely safe hands. So before we start our analysis, let me close this application. Now, before we start our analysis, we only start with higher time frame. Always I emphasize on starting with higher time frame. And starting with higher time frame means we look at now we can forget about the yearly candle, the monthly, the weekly. Now let's start with our analysis using the daily candle. So according to the daily candle, you can see this market has been rejected here. There is some sign of rejection within this region. So what I do, I mark that region. Remember, I'm focusing on the body. I mark that region and I know that market is doing what? Has been rejected at my right point there. The next rejection, if I see a breakout within that region, if I see a candle just like the consolidating market, if I get a candle that will close above there, I know the next target is here. This is the next target. So I know the next possible reversal area is within this region here because of this impact. Because I said the Forex market always repeats its pattern. What happened here will still happen here. For instance, you can see if this market, there was a break at this area, this is a daily another candle, then you can see there was a break within the same region. And today the market might even decide to break within that region or be rejected. These buys might decide to be rejected within that region. So these are my points of interest. So what happened yesterday will always give me an idea of what will happen tomorrow. So I know the days to come, anytime the market will approach my zone here, the market might decide to do what? Either consolidate or the market might decide to reverse. If I see a breakout, a candle that will break above that region, I know the next zone to reject is this zone here. But if I find another candle to break above there, I know the market will continue to push up. And I show that when we can know the next place where the candle will reverse when we have a new high, because this is the latest high for gold. But if we get a new high with no history, here, I'll show you how you are able to predict and know where the market will go next after that region. We'll see that before end of this course. So for now, we are looking at where the market might decide to do what? To be rejected, where the market might decide to reverse. That's what we are looking at right now. So for you to identify our zones, the zones that you've seen in my MT5, for you to identify those zones, look at the candlestick. We said the candlestick has these three major parts. We have the upper wick, we have the body, and we have this lower wick, this wick here. So we are just interested in where the body closed. We are interested in the body of every candlestick. And I saw guys in the group where they have been drawing and coming up with this analysis. That's a very nice gesture, guys. So we are focusing on where the body of the candlestick closed. This is my point of interest. Where this body closed, this is my point of interest here. I said I'm focusing on the body today. The next session I'll be talking about the wicks. So if this is my body here, this is where the body of my candlestick closed. This is my body of my candlestick. This is my point of interest. I'm just interested in this part only. I'm interested in this part and this part. So that's what we are going to identify now as we speak. These are the zones we are going to identify. And when we go to lower time frame, you see a lot of magic which happened there. So let's identify those zones very fast. This is zone number 1. So this zone is a bit far. This is the second zone. Here. This is another zone. Remember, we don't mark the active candle. I've just marked this candle because the active candle might even decide to close at this area or to come to push down to this area. So I don't focus on the active candle. I'm looking at the history, the candles which have already done what? The candles which have already closed. I'm just interested in those candles. So you mark all these zones. Remember, we are starting our analysis using the daily candle. Mark all those zones. I'm just marking the zones randomly. I hope you understand the zones that I'm marking. I'm just marking anywhere where I can see the body of a candlestick which has already closed. Just interested in the body. I'm not interested in the wicks. You can identify as many zones as possible. I'm just doing it randomly. I don't have time to be accurate just for this presentation. So those are the zones. And there are many more zones. There are many zones, many more zones you can identify. All these are many zones you can identify. All these are many zones which you can identify. There are so many zones. So that's the rule. Now, after we've identified those zones, where do we go next? Now from daily, we go to 4 hours and let's see the magic. I need you guys to see the market will either be rejected or the market will consolidate within my lines. The lines that I've drawn using the higher time frame. You see the market will be behaving funny after hitting that point. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see this market is consolidating within this region. You can see the market has been rejected within this region. You can see the market is being rejected at my exact points where my lines lie. You can see. Look at this consolidation. Look at this rejection within this region. Look at this candle. Look at these rejections, multiple rejections happening here. Look at all these rejections. Look at this rejection here. So look at this consolidation happening within my line. If I go to history, if I go to previously what happened, even if I go to last year's candle, so long as it lies within my line, you see an impact here. Look at this consolidation and rejection. Look at this rejection. Look at that kind of rejection. Look at these rejections. Look at all these rejections. So it means within my lines, it lays some danger zones, some points of interest. So I'm more interested. Look at this consolidation, which happened within my exact zone. And this is according to 4 hours. If I go to as low as, if I go as low as 1 minute time frame, if I go to 1 minute, not 1 minute, but if I go to, now, if I go to, let me say 1 hour, if I go to 1 hour time frame, let me close the door. So if I go to 1 hour time frame, if I go to 1 hour time frame, you will see more zones and more miracles happening within my region. Let me expand these candlesticks so that everyone can see them. So look at the multiple rejections within my zones. Look at this rejection and these sort of consolidation happen within this line and this line here. Look at how the market is consolidating within this line. Look at these multiple rejections within that specific region. Look at this consolidation within this region. Look at these reversals and rejections within this region. Again, look at how the market is consolidating between this line and this line. Look at how this market is consolidating here. So my lines are my points of interest. These lines act as my points of interest. Look at these lines here. Remember I said the Forex market, it repeats its own pattern. What happened previously will still happen the days to come. If the market were rejected, if the prices were rejected within this region, I'm expecting the days to come, anytime this market will approach this region, I might expect this kind of move, either rejection or consolidation, or I might expect the market to consolidate a bit or reject a bit, then continue pushing up in case I get a candle that will do what? Close above. Now the secret is one. I want you to mark my words. I'm just waiting for the candle that will close above or break below. So if these are my points of interest, wait for any candle that will break below or above your zone. Look at how this market is respecting my zones. You can see how this market is respecting all these zones. You can see after tapping my line, the market is respecting my line so well. Look at that. Look at how the market came with all the pressure, tapped my line and went back. Look at this pressure here. There was a lot of pressure from the sellers. Then the market came, tapped that zone, then there was a rejection. And another pressure was here from the sellers. Around that region, rejection. Again, you can see this market is playing within this region. You can see a lot of pressure. After this consolidation, there was a breakout, then there was reversal within that region. Then it came back to consolidate within my line. Look at another consolidation happening within my line. So all these are my points of interest. And remember, we said we are marking the body of a candlestick, the body only, where the body is opening and where the body is closing. I don't care which candle that is. I don't care if it's a bullish or a bearish candle. I'm just marking where the body of the candlestick did what? close. So remember, we started our analysis using the daily candle so that we can get a nice picture of where the market is going and where the market has been rejected, or where the market, where I can find my points of interest. Remember, we are yet now to go to the other move where we be going to look at the wicks, and the wicks will be we associate the wicks with the supply and demand, or the support and resistance moves. But for now, let's look at the points of interest, how we can mark our points of interest in our market. So the points of interest, I say they are located where the candlestick is, where the body of a candlestick lies. And remember, we said we are only looking at the body of the what? The body of that particular candlestick. So for the guys who are joining now, I said these are my points of interest, and I identified these zones using the higher time frame, like that. Those are my points of interest, where this body is closing and where this body is opening. And I said, I don't care which color of the candlestick that is, so long as I can see the body and I can see the upper part of the body and the lower part of that body, or the opening and closing of that body. So after marking that using the daily candle, we moved to 4 hours. Then we are now at 1 hour. Then the lower we go, the lower time frame we use, the more we are trying to identify our entry points. Remember, higher time frames will always give us a clearer picture, a big picture of where the market is going. But the lower time frames will always give us entries. So for you to go to your MT5 and click a buy or a sell, we narrow down to our lower time frame. And those lower time frames are 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or whichever time frame you are comfortable with. So now from the 1 hour candle, we went all the way to from 1 hour we went all the way to 30 minutes. Let me refresh this chart. I don't know why it can't display my I think the internet is kind of slow. Now that's according to 1 hour. Now let's move to 30 minutes and see how the market is behaving. And you can see clearly the market is still behaving within my regions. The market is playing within my regions. So all these are my points of interest. Within this region lies my points of interest. So even if I go to 1 minute, you see the market will be behaving within those lines. Look at the multiple rejections happening here within this line. Look at all these rejections. Look at all this consolidation. Look at this consolidation here. Look at this rejection which happened here. I know then people will say there is a fair value gap there. Yes, I know, and I'll talk about fair value gaps later, how they impact the market, how you can find nice entries using fair value gaps for the guys who are interested in fair value gaps. So, but for now, in simple terms, we are trying to see our points of interest. And this is where our points of interest, this is where we find our points of interest. So you can see this market is just playing within this region. So after identifying all these region, alafu sasa, so how do we buy and sell? How do we enter now for a buy or a sell? Remember our rule, wait for the candle that will close above your zone so that you can buy. Wait for a candle that will close below your zone so that you can sell. Full stop. So if this market has been playing games within this specific region, if this market is playing games within this region, I can see this consolidation happening here. What am I going to wait for? I'm waiting for any candle that will break below my point of interest there. Any candle that will break below my point of interest, then that's the time I do what? I'll enter for a sell around this region. So my sell and buy are always within my points of interest. If I draw these lines, if I go to my automated system on MetaTrader 5, you'll be able to see my lines lie within my points of interest, because I've already mastered that how the market moves. So this becomes my point of interest. Look at how this market is being rejected within this region. Look at how this market is behaving within this specific region. So what I always wait for is for any candle that will break below. That's the only time I can do what? I can enter for a sell. If I want to buy, I'll wait for the candle. Look at this market. It has been consolidating here. I can see there was a fake breakout here, but the only candle that broke above the zone very well, this is the candle that broke above the zone. That's why you can see there was that nice buy. Now look at this. This was a fake breakout also. And this candle decided to sell, and this candle broke below my line. That's why you can see there was that nice sell. So always wait for the market to break above or below your line. Then trust yourself and find your entry. And the entry is just located within the 5, 15, and 1 minute time frame. So go to lower time frame for you to confirm if really that market has broken that zone. Go to lower time frame to confirm if that market has broken below that zone. So that's the only way we can find our entries. So you can see this market is playing just within the zone. You can see even this market always tapping within this zone. I know you guys will say there is some liquidity here, but I'll talk about the liquidity zones. I'll talk about this support zone and the resistance zone within this region. But for now, let's just focus on our points of interest. So points of interest are very crucial. So identify your points of interest using the higher time frame, and the higher time frame we use the daily. We start with the daily candle because according to the weekly and the monthly and the yearly candle, we've already seen our market is bullish. We've already seen how the market is behaving using the weekly, the monthly, and the yearly candle. Now, since we want to enter the market, if we are scalpers, all day traders, if we want to enter that market, now we have to go further to use what? To use the lower time frames. So that's why we started our analysis using the daily candle so that we can see what happened previously in the previous days, how the market has been behaving. For instance, you can see today's market is being rejected within this region because there was a point of interest there. So this market is being rejected. So if this candle decides to close above here, that will be a nice opportunity to continue buying and wait until the market hits our next target here within this region here. So you can draw a line here targeting this region. So this will be our next point. So how do we now identify our take profit and our stop losses? For the guys who are not familiar with take profits and stop losses, I'm giving you an assignment to study about take profits and stop losses. So for you to identify your take profits and stop losses, it's very simple. To identify your take profit and your stop losses, very simple. So if this was my entry point after breakout within this region, if this was my breakout, my take profit one will be here. Remember, these lines are the same lines which are giving us our take profit. So TP1 will be here, take profit 2, take profit 3, take profit 4, take profit 5 as you push up. So these zones will always give us, these are the same zones we are going to use to identify our take profits and our stop losses. So guys, any question before we close this session so that tomorrow in the next session we talk about the take profit, the stop losses. I'll talk about the stop losses and take profits during the risk management lesson, which is happening next week as we close this session, this course. But for now, tomorrow we'll talk about the liquidity zones, the support and resistance approach, all the supply and demand, as many call it. But for today, I need us guys to send as many screenshots. We are how many? We are 137 of us. I need 137 screenshots. Open your trading view. We are trading gold, that is XA USD. That's what we are trading. So open your trading view and analyze the market up to the level that I've reached. Then observe if that market will respect your zones tomorrow. Then come and testify to me if that market will respect your zones. Are we together, guys? So this is the kind of analysis I'll be waiting for. Identify the zones using the daily candle, then the 4-hour time frame, then send me a screenshot. Then you can go to lower time frame like 1 hour and see what is happening, and you'll see clearly the market will always play within those regions. So with that said and done, remember guys, this video is proudly sponsored by Zealand Markets, one of the best brokers we have. This is proudly sponsored by Zealand's Markets. This is a brokerage based in Mauritius, and their main office is based in Dubai. I even went to their office physically, so your money is very safe. So this class is proudly sponsored by Zealand Markets. And remember, I'm your host, DDFX. Make sure you follow me on all my social media handles. Thank you guys, and you have a nice session. You have a good day. Remember, we said this session will be available for you guys. I'll share the recordings on my YouTube channel so that you guys can review and go through it in case you did not understand what I've taught. For the guys who have missed, you can share the link with them. Then make sure you follow me. Take care, guys, and tell a friend to tell a friend. We have legit traders in the country. Now, see you. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night, guys. For the guys in Mauritius, thank you. For the guys in Dubai, for the guys in India, thank you so much for attending this session. For the guys in Qatar, the guys in USA, the guys in UK, the guys in Canada, the guys in Ronkai, big up, and the guys in Germany. Thank you so much. And also the guys in Botswana and Namibia. I have amazing community in Botswana and Namibia. So thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your evening and take care, guys.